The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Welcome to Gate City Chronicles. I'm Kevin Avard, your host, and today we're going to be talking about being happy. It's a choice. I had a friend that I had on the show a while back, and he said to me, boredom is a choice. Well, today, happiness is a choice, and to talk about happiness, I have Lyn-Dee on my show. And now you've been on the show before.
Kevin, I have been on your show before. Thanks for having me back.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
All right.
I'm so excited.
So, Happiness Jungle. Get happy with Lyn-Dee.
There we go.
So, let's talk about happiness.
Sure.
All right, what about it?
Okay, happiness, just like you said, it's definitely a choice. It's learning unique reaction activity so you could have a better outcome. It's no knee-jerk reactions. It really is. It's a simple way of life that people think is more difficult. So I help people understand how to pursue the right kind of activity, the right responses. I love being around the happiest people. That's who I deal with all day long, happy people.
Right.
But like you and I, happy people, we have stress that goes on in our lives, and how we interact with it and how we respond to it, well, that's what ends up to become either overly dramatized, stressful to the max, or controlled, relaxed, and prioritize. That's what I do best.
Now, I'm a mixed breed. I'm a little bit of French, a little Irish, a little Indian, a little bit of everything. And I have all kinds of emotions that run through my blood. And I tend to be more of those stress, worry, wart type of people, especially when I'm driving. Or when I'm up at the Capitol, and there are all kinds of things that happen. But one person came to me and said, "Why are you always singing? Why are you always happy?" And I forget. I'm choosing to be happy by singing a song, and it does help me relieve my stress because there are all kinds of things. You got small businesses. You got to make all your schedules. You've got to bring the kids to the school, you've got to pick them up for lacrosse, you've got to go up to the Capitol, you've got to put on bills, you've got to pay bills, you've got to earn money, and all these things come crashing on you and just can cloud your mind, and you can become so absorbed and run down. One thing we do is we work out, Tracy and I, but sometimes I just sing. It helps.
You found your outlet.
That's one of my outlets, yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, and that's what we have to do. We have to understand that it's okay to have outlets, and it's okay to use them when we need them the most. And yours, I love it, is singing. You're known as the singing senator.
I am. Well, good or bad, I still sing. So
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. So many people don't understand that they have an outlet or an easy solution to an outlet. And it could even be a silent outlet because they're in a group of people, whether they're at work or what have you. But prioritizing helps the world not crash in on you. People don't understand how to prioritize. They don't understand the importance of a list. You tell somebody, let's make a list, and they think, okay, but the list isn't organized in prioritizing. So if you know you have X, Y, and Z to do during the day, what's the most important? And at the end of the day, what I love to help people understand, don't be upset with what you haven't accomplished. Be excited about what you did accomplish.
Right.
The continuation could be tomorrow. There's a new day coming. Be excited about what you've accomplished.
So nowadays it seems like everybody's stressed. If you look on Facebook, any of the social medias, you go around, you see people angry, just excited about something or other because there seems to be a stressful time. The zeitgeist of the day, the spirit of the day. How do you help people? How do you coach people into doing this? What is your organization all about?
My organization is all about reality, the true reality of life, the true reality of having happiness, the choices that you make. When you wake up in the morning, do you listen to good music or do you turn on the news?
I turn on the news. I do.
And you start singing.
And I do sing, yeah.
And you do sing because the news brings you stress.
It always does, of course. And sometimes, some mornings we don't. Sometimes we'll just I'll turn on the computer and I'll listen to, I like to listen to scriptures. I like to listen to sermons.
Positive, reinforcing.
Yeah, sometimes they're challenging, but I get tired of the same old, I'm in politics, but after a while, you just, enough.
Right. So let me ask you something, Kevin. When you turn on the television and you listen to the news, oh my goodness, the negative news versus the morning that you've turned on the scriptures, which one do you feel happier with to gravitate towards, to give you could walk away and go, I feel good, or heavy?
Definitely, I do it with the scriptures. Sometimes the scriptures is challenging. You want to make sure that you align yourselves, and sometimes you have to reflect and change things inside you.
Right.
And that's more of a mental thing. And of course, that brings you into a positive way.
Yes.
And I do appreciate that much better than the news. But sometimes you have to put on the news to find out what's going on. So it's a juggling act.
It is a juggling act, and to be honest with you, I don't turn the news on a lot because there's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
Unless I want to know something specific, well, I could Google that. I don't have, if you turn on the news, you literally just put yourself into 3 minutes of a bad place. It's one bad thing after another. And what does that do for you?
Right.
It takes you to a place where you're going to start talking negatively, it's going to bring you down, and then it crashes.
Right. I do like to be informed, though, so it's a double-edged sword.
Yes, it is.
I used to have a customer, Mrs. Audley, up in the Bow area, and Mrs. Audley was a very, very wise woman, and she said, Kevin, things that you can change them. But don't stress over the things that you have no control over. It's a waste of energy. And that was very good advice.
Yeah. I love that. You understand what it means to filter. That's what she taught you.
Oh, yeah.
You filter. Many people don't understand how to filter. That's where the happiness jungle comes in. It's reality.
Right.
100% reality. I live in a world where my world is not perfect. But because of the choices that I make now, because I gravitate towards more of a happiness solution, my days are more pleasant.
Now, somebody's going to say to you, well, you don't know my life.
Right.
That'll probably be one of the first things that, how do you address that? Well, what's
Sit
going
down with me and have a cup of coffee. Share with me what your life is. That's the beginning.
Right.
In order to help anybody, they have to take ownership of what belongs to them. And when they do that, and you know immediately when you're speaking with somebody, don't you know immediately when someone's taking ownership to who they are and what they do?
Oh, yes.
And then they take ownership of what somebody else does. That never works out well. So when you're speaking with people and they take ownership, it's so simple for them to be able to apply the happiness. Now, I never said life was easy, and Lord knows we all have stories, but I did say you could be happier. If it wasn't possible, then psychiatrists and psychologists wouldn't be in business.
Right.
Here's the difference. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I'm a mentor and a coach, and I literally help people actively change if they want to. Not talk about it, but we start doing activity that helps them. I don't know, I'm a product myself of show me, let me touch it, and I've got it. If I read it, it's just another book.
So you're somebody that comes alongside somebody and helps them along the process. Sometimes just being there is as meaningful as doing the work for them. I find that when somebody comes alongside you and encourages you, that can help you with the courage that you need to make that next step. But if you're alone, there is a proverb that says, you know, happy is the person who has another person next to them, because when they fall, at least they have somebody to pick them up. Woe unto the person who goes alone. When you go it alone, and if you fall, there's nobody there to pick you up. So you're the person who can come alongside and help do the life coaching. And so define happiness. What is happiness?
Happiness is an individual choice. It's designed differently within each other. It's choosing not to take ownership for other people's activities or actions and being satisfied with your inner being. Knowing that everything that you do is not to harm or hurt in any way, but just to be able to smile on a daily basis. Be satisfied with gratitude. Be grateful instead of everybody loves to accuse. It's their fault. It's his fault. No one takes ownership. Happiness, it's peace. Peace and tranquility. And it's a learned activity. Isn't that something? You have to learn how to be happy.
It would seem to be, yes.
Interesting theory, but we do have to learn how to be happy. I wish we could be children forever and ever. Children, they laugh and they smile and they play. They fall, they get up and they go like this. We fall and we're down for the count.
How did you come along this whole happiness genre? What changed in your life, or what led you to this?
Well, I have a book, my very first book. I'm an author. It's called Tears of Fears Behind Closed Doors. It tells my story. It's not a woe is me, but I have a dark past. 26 years of my beginning was very abusive, from being born all the way to getting married and etc. Over 40 years ago, I started pouring self-help, personal development inside of me. It was by accident. I don't know if you're familiar with a gentleman named Les Brown. Les Brown is one of my biggest mentors in the self-help arena, personal development. When I saw him on television and he started speaking about the inner you and you need to take charge and don't you allow anybody to tell you that you have no value, you have no worth, you are very unique and you are very special. It was like that day, over 40 years ago, he was talking to me. And from that moment, I started to educate and fill myself with positive affirmations, positive books, positive audios, positive music. Now I started to mentor and coach because my attitude, it's no longer a chore for me to learn how to be happy. It's no longer hard for me to decide how to pause and react because I've been doing it for over 40 years.
You've made it a practice.
I have made it a practice, which gives me the opportunity to share with others how to do it.
So having come from an abusive relationship or having been abused maybe over a long period of time, what role does forgiveness have in being happy?
100%. You have to forgive. You have to be grateful. There are people in my past that I look at them like, thank you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be X, Y, and Z. Thank you.
I've heard it once said that when you forgive, you set two prisoners free.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
The person that you forgave and yourself. Because it does hold you down. You hang on to bitterness, whether it's through envy or whether it's through sorrow, whatever brings on that bitterness from being the victim. You can stay that victim for the rest of your life.
Yes, you could.
And you can stay in that dark cloud, or you can forgive. Now, that's easier said than done. But if you don't approach that, then you've locked yourself into a life of doom. A lot of people that I've talked to in the past have come from some hard beginnings. I've come through some hard beginnings. And one of the things that I've learned as an individual, that those hard beginnings have made me empathetical for those who are going through the same thing. And I can comfort them, whether it's through poverty, whether it's through family separations, some abuse. You can turn around and say, you know what, this is where you can go, or I've been there, I understand. Just saying that and honestly empathizing with somebody can almost take a huge burden off their shoulders and release them and help them along the way. So it's nice that that is what you're doing.
Yeah.
You have an event coming up the 14th, don't you?
I do.
What is that all about?
It is my opening show. I'm also a comedian.
I was just going to say, you're a comedian. Fantastic.
You know why? Because life is funny. It is. When you could look at a situation and you could turn it around. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to laugh at everything that happens, for goodness sakes, no. But at my show at Jewel Nightclub in Manchester, New Hampshire, on Tuesday, June 14th, that's my opening night. That's my new beginning for this entity. And I am excited. My audience is going to be able to be interactive, and they're going to be throwing out challenges that they have in their daily lives. And we're going to be able to look at them and go, what if you handled it this way? And then we're going to interact with it. I know that as long as people are willing to voluntarily interact at my show, number one, it's going to be so epic and so enlightening that there's a solution for them to be able to use immediately, that if they truly want happiness in their lives and they truly want better relationships, whether it's personal, business, hobby, whatever it is, they're going to be able to take some gold nuggets home and start applying them immediately.
So where's the Jewel nightclub?
It's in Manchester, Elm Street. If you're going towards, I'm sorry, I don't know, left or southwest, east.
North, south. Let's see.
Okay, so if you're headed south on Elm Street and you get to Market Basket,
Yep.
right before Market Basket, you'll go ahead and make a right. That'll take you to Canal Street. Go around that corner, white building, Jewel Nightclub.
White building. Is that where the old building 19 and a half was?
That's what everybody's asking me, so it very could well be. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But I know if you follow those directions, you're going to find me. What I'm very excited about this event is, yes, it costs money. However, what I tell people is that all of my events is to pay it forward to make a difference in people's lives. If you could afford to pay for the event, awesome. If you can't, then don't worry about it. You need to be there anyway. And I literally go with the honor system. So there's a lot involved with the Happiness Jungle. And the books that are going to start coming out, wait till you see the books, my books, that are almost ready to come out for everybody to be able to gravitate towards, plus online trainings and retreats. There's so many great things for people to be able to enchant into it. Yep.
So you are also going to be having a TV show.
I am.
Where is that going to be at?
Right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew that. So, and when is that going to start?
You know what? In the next few weeks. I don't have a set date yet. But I'm excited about it.
What kind of guests do you think you'll have on your show?
I want to have local community people. I want to have talented people. I want to have people that are making a difference. More importantly, everybody has a story. But here's the greatest thing about this, Kevin. Everybody has a story. Most people can relate to people's stories. The only difference is names in the shells. So I'm going to bring on people that are going to inspire others that everything is possible. If my guests could have done it, we could do this. And together, we're going to fill a nice void.
So you must have some success stories along the way here, having
so many
life coaches.
So humbled by them. I cry sometimes. Sometimes
That's
people,
not happiness.
Yeah. Well, it is happiness because you can have happy crying, right?
Yeah, you can.
Well, when you know that you've made that big of an impact and a difference in people's lives and you don't even know that and somebody calls you with gratitude, it's overwhelming. I could cry right now. It's so overwhelming because you know that you're doing the right thing. Never, ever stop.
I call those trophies.
I like that.
Life trophies.
Life trophies.
And a lot of people, you know, we've had kids in sports, and you know, we've got some parents are out there. They want that trophy to put on the mantle, but those trophies get dusty. The trophies that are really valuable are the ones that you made a difference. That you can say, "Wow, I had a part of that person's life, and look where they are today." That's huge.
Amazing.
That's a gift. That's the gift that just keeps giving over and over again.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
You know, Facebook is a great filter. What I love about Facebook is that if you're meeting somebody and you think they're amazing, and they very well could be or what have you, and if they've been on Facebook for a while, I'm just going to use that one outlet on social media because time will either promote you or expose you. Either you're a great person or you're not a great person.
Yeah.
And on Facebook, when you look at somebody's Facebook, let's say you went to somebody's Facebook page right now and they were having a great day. Oh, well, you're going to see some really great things on their post. I tell people, you've met somebody new, you really want to see what they're like. Not that it's going to give you the all answer, but go down and follow their Facebook feed as much as you possibly can. It's really funny how people
You
become
checked out my
transparent.
Facebook page.
I most certainly did, and that's why I'm here to talk to you, because I think you're fabulous.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you.
I do. You're very active. One of the biggest things that I really loved about your political page, I guess is the best way to put it, right? You have a political page.
I do. Yeah.
Here's what I like about it. You allow people to interact on it. You don't delete posts. You let people talk about whatever they want to talk about.
I've had to delete a couple because I don't like swearing.
Good.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you have to filter. But what I found on an overall is you're so compassionate about helping people. That's what showed. And trust you me, I went as far as I could go.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter that I was invited as your guest. If I don't enjoy you, I can't sit here.
Right.
It's not part of my
Well,
happiness.
thank you for coming on my show.
Thank you for having me. You can. I hope I'm welcome back.
Absolutely.
I hope you come to my show.
Just name the day.
There you go.
Name the day. It's a great idea, and I understand. You know, I think when I had you on last time, I asked you, because some people might ask the question, you know, is this like a cult thing, you know, and what is the difference between this or just it's not pie in the sky stuff. You're actually you're life coaching. You're coming alongside, peripatetic. You're helping.
Yes.
You're coming alongside and encouraging people to get to a place where they can move forward.
It's true.
Right.
It's not a cult.
Yeah.
It's just like anything else. People want self-help. That's why they look for counseling, isn't it? Isn't that why they look for
They just want someone to talk to that they'll
They
listen.
want someone to talk to. So my first interaction with anybody is, I'm a soundboard. I want to hear everything that they have to say. So many people aren't even listened to. So now they're sitting with me, and I look people in their eyes. If you're talking to somebody and they can't look you in your eyes, there's a little problem there.
Yeah.
There's a little shadow there. Sometimes people can't look you in their eyes because their self-esteem was knocked right down to the ground.
Yeah.
But when I look at somebody's eyes and their body posture, I know that. I know the difference, and then I get to help them.
Right. There are a lot of, you know, I see that in some kids today. When they come to the Capitol, I want them all to understand that every one of them, they're peculiar. You're different. I like to use that word peculiar because you don't hear it that often. You're peculiar. You're different. Every single one of you are different. And that means nobody has a handle on you. You are important. You have a purpose. And you have a design that nobody can copy. That makes you valuable. And I think a lot of this drug thing that we're going through is a lot of people have suffered either abuse, they are prone, they don't have a value. Tracy and I, we do watch a show called Intervention. And we watch what happens, what transforms into a wonderful, beautiful person. Something bad happens, and they can't shake it. And it turns into a negative in a dark cloud, which is tending towards death. And trying to get those people back on the road again is letting them air out those things that are crushing them inside. There are a lot of people out there like that. And if you can intervene at a young age and help them understand that they are important. You know, some kids are smarter than other kids. That can run deep with a child. I'm not as smart, or I'm not as popular, or I'm not as pretty, or I can't play that, or I can't do this. And they identify with that. They're sinking the ship before they even get started. You've got to help them overcome that. And there's all that transition period as a kid that kids suffer through. And some don't make it, you know. But if you can help that child as an adult, you won't have to speak to that child.
It's funny, we have to break chains, and nothing's changed. People think that today's child growing up is horrible and they have more challenges than we did. That's not true. That's not true. I was a victim of abuse. I was that child who you just described. I was ugly. I used to spit at myself. I used to look in the mirror and go, oh my God, how come I'm not pretty? How come my hair is curly? The whole thing, what you just described. You know what I did? I woke up and said, that's not true. I'm breaking this chain. I don't want to hurt anybody the way I've been hurt. And I just poured myself into personal development. But it was because I kept looking at people that I idolized and said, who are they? What are they really like? How come they get to have that?
Yeah.
And I picked and I chose the good habits. And I just started gravitating towards it.
Habits.
Habits.
Habits are a really important thing. I read a book as a kid in high school. It's called The World's Greatest Salesman. Have you ever heard of that
book? Oh, gosh, yes. Very good book.
Very, extremely good. It's a small book, maybe 142
Very easy
pages.
read.
By Og Mandino. And there were a series of habits. That's all I'm going to say. But very good book, a really nice plot twist at the end that I really enjoyed. If you follow biblical things, but it was just a good book, and that was something that I reflect back on, and I wish every kid would read a book like that by Og Mandino. I believe he's from New Hampshire.
He's buried in Mass. I went to his gravesite.
He died. I didn't know that. Oh, so you've read his book. Books like that, and Life is Tremendous by Charles Tremendous Jones, and people like Zig Ziglar and C at the Top. And
I went to many of his conventions. May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good influence, and those are good things to gravitate to pull you out. I also believe that the Scriptures. I personally believe the Bible is my main focus for me, and that gave me direction and hope as a kid, and even as an adult, warts and all,
Yeah.
But I congratulate you on what you're doing here.
Thanks.
This is a great way. When you said you come alongside and help people and life coach,
Yeah.
we need more of that. So, I got 1 minute. When's your show going to be airing?
It'll be airing in a few weeks. I wish I had a date for you.
And how do people get in touch with you?
Oh, my God. The best way to be in touch with me, go to facebook.com/happinessjungle. Like the page and stick and stay.
Happiness Jungle.
Yeah.
Lyn-Dee, thank you for coming on my show
Thanks,
again.
Kevin.
We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
So, you need a life coach. If you're struggling through things, contact Lyn-Dee. There might be something there that can help you along if you need somebody to come alongside and talk with you. And if you'd like to come on the show, please contact us at gatecitychronicles@gmail.com. Until next week, thanks for watching. Thank you for watching Gate City Chronicles. And we want to thank our sponsor, Aardvark Cleaning. They've been a sponsor for quite a few years now, and we appreciate them being a sponsor. And if you want to be a guest on our show, contact accessnashua@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your story. Until next week, thanks for watching.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.